Well, Bill, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm looking forward to spending a day talking about line-engraved stamps with you. I've known you a long time, but I don't know quite how you ever got into stamps. Can you tell me?
Firstly, Mike, it's always good to see you. When I was a little lad, I was rummaging through a cupboard in Bristol and I found my father's old pre-war stamp collection. Big leather-clad album, opened it out, on one page there was a penny black. The simplicity and beauty of the design appealed to me, and I started to collect stamps. My father started to collect stamps. We went to local stamp shows. We were fortunate in those days. There were stamp shops in Bristol, 6 or 7 stamp shops in Bristol. So we were able to have a weekly philatelic trip. Dad and lad go stamping, and it went from there. And then I tried a couple of careers, insurance, teaching, didn't like that. And then Stanley Gibbons were advertising for staff in 1979. They were looking for office juniors to directors, and I went. I had an interview with actually the office manager was Peter Mollis, who's now a well-known stamp dealer in GB, one of my competitors, but also one of my friends. And he gave me the job. And I was there with Stanley Gibbons for 4 years. And in 1984, I set my own business up, moved back to Bristol, ran a stamp shop in Christmas Steps, developed a strong mail order business, travelled the world, and I've now got a very successful business. I also, collect and exhibit at a very high level. I really enjoy that. So, for me, it all started many years ago with a little penny black, and now it's metamorphosized into this very successful global business, buying and selling all aspects of GB, everything from medieval letters from 1580, the very well-known Corsini correspondence, right through to the 1960s classic varieties, where you had, for instance, the 1965 Post Office Tower issue with the tower missing, which is a very dramatic variety, and it's a beautiful thing to have, and I very much enjoy buying. I love buying. In fact, I can't stop buying. Whether it's old postal history or blacks or blues, collections, single items, and then we bring the items back to base. We describe it, we scan it, we put it on our website, which is very easy to use, very user friendly, and we produce a really good brochure. I have to say, I think it's the best retail brochure in the business. We produce 4 or 5, maybe even more of these a year, offering superb selection of GB items from 1550 to the 1980s, priced from £5 to many thousand.
How do you find your customers?
I get my customers. I do a lot of advertising. I travel the world to shows. I'm one of the few dealers who will travel to Japan, America, South Africa, Canada, taking my stock, promoting the UK, promoting GB philately, and I'm happy to chat and speak to collectors. And of course, our website is very active, and those are our main avenues.
Bill, I know you've got a reputation for helping people build their collections. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I was once a small little lad, who was wondering, well, what is a penny lilac? What is a penny red? What is a penny black? And I never forget that. I never forget the privileged position I'm in, handling all of these amazing items. And yes, if I can help a collector to learn and develop his collection, then I'm always going to try. I mean, this is part of a very small part of my library here, and I try and offer help to collectors, by offering them the right books so they can learn about the hobby. Stampex, by the way, is our national show where we showcase the hobby in the Business Design Centre in Islington. It's a fantastic show. It's undoubtedly one of the very best shows to be held annually on the planet, and if you're interested in stamps, I've got to recommend it.
Thank you, Bill.
That's a pleasure.
I think we ought to start looking at some stamps.
Well, let's do that. Let's do that. Great. Okay, Mike.